The real estate market is changing. Whether people like it or not, AI is here. I don't think it's going anywhere, and I think it is going to have a direct impact on your everyday real estate agent's life. Let's talk about that 3% that real estate agents previously got. What they used to have to do is know what houses were for sale. Then they had to go find out how to get access to the house, whether there was a lockbox, which they probably didn't, or whether it was going to the office, going and pick up the key. They had to then do research on the house without the internet. That meant that they had to go back, try to find what information from what house is sold and whatnot, try to then come up with comps. They would probably take you from house A to house B to house C without a GPS. They would probably have to drive through the route so that they know how to get there so that they're not getting lost with you in their car. That was a lot of work. That did require 3%. Nowadays, what happens? Your average agent sits. They get a text message from a client who sees a house on Zillow, and they say, hey, can you show me this house? The agent goes, they open the door, they maybe pull comps, they write an offer, boom, 3%. That's not sustainable. If you take the hours that an agent works per deal, divided by the average money they make, it's astonishing. There are multiple cases where you're at a $15,000 an hour rate. That's not normal. That's not sustainable. So I think AI is here, and I don't think it's just AI. I think the market's changing. I think there's that 10AR lawsuit, which actually probably made agents more because now that it's negotiable, well, if I can make 3% opposed to the 2 that you're offering, I'm going to try to get 3. So I think there's a current spike in commissions, but I don't think it's sustainable. I think it is a race to the bottom in terms of commission. I think we're going to start seeing, if we haven't already, in our area there are low brokerage models that come in with a flat 1% to list your house or to help you buy it. I think that's going to sustain, and I think it's going to be a race to the bottom. And if you think about the hourly rate that an agent will make, makes sense. So what does that mean for real estate agents? Well, I think for the time being, enjoy the ride. I think you need to really start adding value because the free money that you get from showing a house while being late and spending 30 minutes on writing an offer on dot loop, I don't think it's sustainable. It's not. So just to recap, we're not driving around picking up keys, driving and carting our clients and having the secret information of what houses are available. The internet is here. An agent shouldn't be making $25,000 because someone shot them a text, they opened the door and wrote an offer. It needs to be more than that. And for the most part, most people's experiences aren't that. I'm sure there's some oddballs ones, as some people who have, but that's just the case. So the question I get all the time, are agents overpaid? Agents are either overpaid or they're underpaid. And I say they're overpaid because vast majority don't do anything. But I also say there's underpaid because there's a handful of them that are worth their weight in gold. I'm a broker. I've sold, I think we have 350 or 400 transactions under our belt in the last 5 years. That's a lot. And when I went to buy a house, I asked someone for an opinion. Why? Well, because that opinion was extremely valuable. To me, I would pay that mentor well more than 3% for his input because I'm making the largest purchase of my life. So I think that people either add the value or they don't, but this in-between is not sustainable. So how is AI going to help? Let's be cliche here. First of all, I think when it comes to the buy side, there's too many third parties involved. In order for someone to want to see a house, first they have to contact me. I then have to contact the listing agent. The listing agent needs to contact the seller. The seller needs to agree, contact the listing agent. The listing agent buying. There's so many bottlenecks for a simple process. Now, it's already somewhat digitalized where we can do things online, but there's still unnecessary bottlenecks. So if a house is vacant and, for example, someone wants to see it at 9 o'clock and I'm not available at 9 o'clock, that means that the house is not going to be shown. Why? Open Door tried making this concept, and I think it was brilliant. I think they were just too early, where they said, hey, listen, seller, if I give you someone a copy of their driver's license and verify that they're actually them, would you be okay with this person coming in your house? And I think the answer was yes, especially if it was vacant. They were just early. I think a model like that, especially when we have blockchain, AI, things of that nature, I think it's going to be able to be sustainable and cohesive. So I think the first thing that's going to happen is the bottleneck of real estate agents, it has to go. It's an inefficiency that does nothing but pay people money for stuff they're not doing. The second thing is that, aside from that bottleneck, is that value add. Now that I catch agents here all the time using AI to help with analysis. Hey, I don't have any comps in this area, and this one is the nicest already, and they just put a new kitchen in. How much value could I expect? AI is going to be there to help with home values, which right now is one of the biggest value adds an agent can do, especially on the listing side. And on the buy side, it's, okay, well, what's this house worth? That could absolutely be replaced if it's not already. The second thing that I think technology is going to alleviate is streamlining this process. There's already all these chat bots out there that message stuff. I'm pretty good about answering my phone, but if you shoot me a text at 4:30 in the morning, I'm probably not going to answer. However, my AI friend would, and if you can train them, which it's not hard, I'm saying train them for my mentality, then those questions could be fielded and answered. So I think that too is going to get rid of the purpose of the real estate agent. So TLDR, to answer a really long-winded question, fantastic one. I think real estate agents are gone in their current capacity in the next 5 years, and I don't think there are going to be many people out there who are still charging 2-3% to list or buy a home. The technology is too there.